homie.
What is James and Joshua's most embarrassing moment at a competition? Whoever would like to go first.
Here, I'll take it because it happened in October. You know, everything happened to me in that show in October. We had to build a frame carry. I had 1,000-pound frame carry to do, and in the rules meeting, little tip in Strongman: if you don't ask anything and they don't say anything, typically you're allowed to do it in the contest. So if you're the first guy to do it, they'll be like, hey, I have to count it. I didn't tell him he couldn't do it, but no one else is allowed to. Well, we're doing a frame carry, and the guys just started dragging it. They didn't pick it up off the ground. They just dragged it. And one of the guys I went against, he had gotten first in the event because he dragged it 50. It's 1,000 pounds, dragged 50 feet in like 11 seconds. Still an impressive feat of strength. But I was like stubborn. I'm going to pick this thing up and I'm going to walk it and I'm going to beat his time. Well, I picked it up and I walked, and there was no way I was beating his time. So I dropped it and tried to drag it. Actually, popped it up over onto my Achilles heel, ended up tearing my calf and just like collapsing. And that for me was just super embarrassing to try and drag something and then end up tearing a muscle. How did I do that? You know, it's just, oh my gosh.
I'm just wondering, who is this person that came up with the 1,000-pound frame idea? Because like the Shaw Classic was 800 or 880, I believe, and Worlds was around that too. 1,000 is crazy.
We got to use straps, and the Arnold Classic did use 1,000-pound frame once, and they allowed straps, and they actually had to go up the ramp. So we got to use straps, but that's the point. It's Chris Vaccio's show, hosted every year. Now he rolls it within Static Monsters, and honestly, I think it is the heaviest amateur show in the world, and he does that because the people that show up there aren't showing up there because they can do everything and blitz the times. It's a bunch of people that are like, hey, I would love to try this. I want to see what I got. And that's why I signed up for it. That was my I really only signed up for that show so that I could train for that show, if that makes sense, to really have that extra motivation to not show up and zero anything. So yeah, you talk to the wizard. That's another guy to talk to, Chris Vaccio, if you can get an interview with him. Okay. Yeah.
All right, cool. And James, how about you?
So as we were going through this, I'm trying to think back. I can't think of an embarrassing moment in Strongman. I do have a good one that goes back to gymnastics. So I used to compete in trampoline. Not backyard trampoline. I actually had an Olympic trampoline that we could jump over the house, like literally jump from the ground up to the second floor deck and back off. Unfortunately, it was before YouTube, so I wish we had some of that old VHS film. But my first ever trampoline competition, I had been competing on a very specific trampoline, did not have as much spring as the one that I was competing on. And there's spot decks on either end, and it's basically like a big metal frame and plywood. So when you jump on it, it makes a lot of noise. It's hollow sound. There's open air underneath, so it just echoes through the whole building. It's in gymnastics competition, so it's quiet. It's a 10-skill routine. On my third skill, I flew off the trampoline, landed on the spotting deck, and it sounded like a cannon going off, that it literally just stopped the entire gym. And I saluted the judge. I walked off. I didn't get to do my other 7 skills. I was basically done my attempt for the day. But it was one of those moments where it's like, a burp or a fart in a classroom. It went off and just basically stopped everybody. And all eyes were on me at that moment when I should have just been, one in the event.
Crazy story. Great question, Ram 3500. That was awesome.
I don't think I've done enough competitions to have an embarrassing moment yet. I mean, I've fallen off of trampolines before, and I've tried to pick up funky rocks and stuff that shouldn't have. So, but in a competition, no, not yet, at least. I'm sure that'll come.
You hope not to have one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm glad I'm the only one. Thanks, James.
Sorry, man. I'm not easily embarrassed.
Yeah.
You're talking to the guy who's stair surfing.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Although Ram 3500, maybe you jinxed me, so maybe this year will be my embarrassing competition moment.
Yeah. Knock on wood now, because we're all going to have the one for next show.
Right.
Great. Let's have a trend. That's where I'm going to do it. Hopefully not nationals.
So if you like this video and haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing using that button right there. And also stay tuned for some other videos that you might love blooping up right there. This one is the one that YouTube thinks that you will like the best, and this one is the one that I think you will like the best. As always, share this with everyone, and until next time, ciao, homie.